No, you're driving. I'm
directing.
what is it when the person drives?
I'm navigating.
You're navigating.
Yeah.
The driver gets the radio.
Okay.
They get the call on the if you're working, you get to choose the
station.
Entertainment and stuff.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
I
But
get
we're
it.
not doing that. So I'm buying.
So where we also I saw the aliens.
Yeah.
I saw the ships. I feel like, you know what I mean, it was 3 of them.
Right.
And it was all flying in symmetry. A way a plane wouldn't fly.
Really?
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what, and it looked crazy, but it was like distant, far.
Well,
but not
okay.
too-
So was it lights or did you see actual physical
We
shape?
saw physical shapes with lights that were moving oddly, not flying straight, but flying like parallel, crazy. You know
How
what
many?
I'm saying? 3.
In what pattern?
Orbs, like orbs of a light. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But also like a craft, but the orbs of light.
Like if they
And they all like fucking 20 feet apart. So they all had, you know what I'm saying?
could have all been on the same craft.
I don't think so. Not the way it was moving. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, they were spinning around and
yeah,
stuff.
doing the formation shit. You get what I'm saying?
Could have been drones.
No, drones wasn't even invented back then.
When was this?
This is like 2003, 4, 5, 6.
So they weren't mainstream.
No, drones weren't mainstream at that point in time.
I'm just trying to knock holes in
Oh
it.
no, you good. You straight. I'm just telling
I
you.
wish I had. I wish I have. I mean, honestly, everybody I think either you just want to know one way or the other.
Right.
And that's why I find all the hearings so fascinating, because we've got multiple individuals that have really good reputations saying that they know some stuff
Right.
and that people have been injured trying to remake these things.
Well,
and
this
whatnot.
even like,
that's my fascination with
it's
aliens,
like-
not the aliens themselves.
and it's I'm more a conspiracy theorist on everything, because you have like shapeshifters,
Mhm.
reptilian. It's like so much things.
But do you?
But do you? You don't.
But see,
you
these are
don't
all
know.
stories that have been made up in some form or fashion
Right.
to fit somebody's experience or narrative or lie.
Exactly. Or just the propaganda.
I mean, you got to assume that everything you hear is a lie until you can figure out that it isn't,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's how you. I mean, I think that's a negative way to go through life, but it's also practical.
Right. That's why I say I love science, because I deal with facts. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Just like a 5%er would. Like
Well, if you deal with facts, we ain't got none of those for aliens.
Depends on where you're looking. And it's
When you're looking and where you're looking and
when
who
where
you're talking
and
to.
who you're talking to, and
Well,
and
again, but those are
also,
not-
and then you can't believe everything you read.
Well, you can't believe hardly anything. you read.
Okay, but that's just like, okay, talking green, right? Back to talking green, right?
Okay.
Dr. Sebi,
Don't know.
okay, Dr. Sebi is a herbalist,
All right.
and they said that he cured AIDS
Huh. When?
in the 1990s, and he
Okay.
got a patent and everything for it, and everything.
Right.
Do some research on Dr. Sebi,
Yeah.
because he has a lot of he's an African doctor.
Well,
he came over here and he was practicing the stuff.
No
like
government wants you to cure any
anything.
disease.
Exactly. See, I'm glad you said
This
that.
is pharmaceutical conspiracy
exactly.
theorists right here.
Right. No, but it is though. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what, like, me being of African descent, we believe in a lot of herbs and roots and stuff like that to heal you.
Yep.
How are you?
Alrighty.
You love the phone text.
And so
I'm gonna ask you a question on the screen real quick. Perfect. Thank you.
but we deal with a lot of roots and healing. You get what I'm saying? And
Yep.
there is a lot of benefits to health when it comes to.
Here is your card. And that Carol Crunch will be right up.
Okay, doke.
There's a lot of benefits when you talk about using nature, vegetables, fruits, herbs, when it comes to healing properties.
Oh, I think we're totally missed the boat and all that.
Well, we used to have it, but then as technology in the world goes forth, you lose old ways of practices.
Well, you know what?
You know, like,
You know what messed up all of that? Packaging.
what you mean?
Everything in a package is bad for you Think about
Anything that's in a package,
Think
because it's
about it.
processed.
because it's gone through some kind of process, some
Yeah.
kind of factory, some kind
Right.
of something. They might have washed it. They might not have
It's
washed
not like when your grandparents used to walk off the tree and walk
grab
outside
an
and grab
apple.
it off the tree or something like that.
But even now they got
Speaking
sprays
of-
on it.
Okay, saying so, going green.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to do with nature is good for you.
Yeah.
So, an old wise tale, like, anybody with high blood pressure?
A bunch of people have high blood pressure.
Do you
these
know
days.
that do you know that we being in the South that we are? Spanish moss?
And here's that Carol Crunch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Spanish, thank you, appreciate it. Spanish moss.
Mm-hmm.
Is,
Didn't come-
if you put some in your shoe,
Uh-huh.
it'll lower your blood pressure.
Huh. See, all of these wives' tales kind of thing. Where am I going?
You're going.
Here, you're
left.
gonna hold that because I got this coffee that I brought from the house. So we're
Okay.
gonna compare Charleston Coffee Roasters to Starbucks. Am I going left? You said.
Yeah, left.
So we have Starbucks coffee in this cup, and we have Charleston Coffee Roasters in my wife's pink turbos because that's the only one that was left this morning that was clean. So we're about to find out if a Starbucks mocha competes to a black coffee Charleston Coffee Roaster. By the way, we would need a sponsor. I think Charleston Coffee Roasters should do it. What do you think?
You gotta shoot them an email, see what they say.
I know, right? Well, if I do a spit take
You'll-
onto
you'll
this
make a left.
windshield with this Starbucks,
You can
everybody
make a
will know.
left. You can make a left or right. Make this right.
Make the
bring
right
us,
at
it's gonna bring
Lowe's.
us out to this right.
See, they can't see what's happening in front of us because it's facing us. But I'm driving through the Lowe's parking lot,
Make this right.
looking at a lot of green things. All right, so where are we going now? I got to make a request, don't I?
Yeah.
Huh? You know what?
We're already.
I know
30
where
minutes.
I know where I want to go.
We're already 30 minutes. We got one showing.
Yep. Well, that's one episode of one show. Do you know locally where there is an automated car wash?
Yeah, actually.
Get me there.
It's one that just is right by my house.
Fantastic. Let's go back that way then.
All right. But
All right.
yeah,
So let me hang on going green for a second.
okay.
Let's talk about this whole movement of going green, where we got electric cars, solar, wind, nuclear,
Right.
like hydro dam left or right,
Right.
hydro, all of this stuff, right?
It's-
And all of it is to get rid of fossil fuels because they say we're burning up,
Right,
and,
all
and it's making the world hotter and
all the oil,
and all of that, right?
natural gases, all that kind of stuff.
Right, because we keep digging it out of the ground instead of doing it.
Because they're
another way.
trying to make the world a better place. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, that's what
Right.
it's
So-
a smart thing to do because think about it. We're getting closer to global warming.
That's okay. So first, all right, we got to start at some kind of concrete foundation here, right? We have to find out. Do you believe global warming is caused by the burning of fossil fuels? Man-caused global warming. Because from that
I
point on,
believe-
is that's the argument.
I
from that point on.
believe we play a part. Like
How big a part
50%, half at least.
do you?
That's like, okay, if the trees serve a purpose and we cutting all the trees down,
Mhm.
don't you think don't you think the quality of air is different?
If from what? All right, where am I going?
Making it right.
Make it right.
But you get what I'm saying? Like if the trees
Slightly.
trees are here to give us oxygen, right?
75% of the oxygen on the planet comes from the ocean.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Google.
I'm just saying.
But you get what I'm
But if
saying.
you,
though.
so what I'm saying is,
but
if you
get
cut
what I'm
down all the
saying as well.
trees, it doesn't matter.
It don't matter, but they serve a purpose still.
Ecosystem and
yeah,
all
they
the
still
whole
serve a
nonsense.
purpose. You
Sure,
get what
sure,
I'm saying? So if you're doing all that, don't you think you're destroying an ecosystem?
I think you're definitely affecting it, but we haven't
And
cut
then-
down all the trees. There's more trees on the planet now than there were
right.
before.
So, but if you put all the factories that's putting out smog in California and stuff like
Yep.
that, don't you that with the additional cutting off trees,
Right.
cutting down trees, is going to make is going to cause a problem that probably will cause some kind of pollution.
So pollution, in my opinion, is a separate conversation than global warming. Pollution just means it's hard for people to breathe. It's yucky outside. Your clothes smell funny because from the
global warming-
70s until now, we have cleaned up the air
Okay.
1,000%.
So with global warming,
But with
and
global
that's
warming,
also, and let me ask you: do you consider us as a planet getting closer to the sun? Do you think that have anything to do with global warming as all?
I don't know. I didn't know that we are getting closer to the sun. Not significantly to make a difference at this point, anyway. But here's the thing that doesn't cross well in my brain. The Dark Ages were because the planet got cold and gardens didn't grow. I'm simplifying it like crazy. The Dark Ages ended when the planet warmed back up and they were able to grow more crops, thus encouraging, animal growth and offspring. And when it gets warmer, people do better. More people die because it's cold than people die because it's warm. Trees grow because carbon dioxide. What produces carbon dioxide? Everything on the planet. So if you have more carbon dioxide, yes, the planet might get warmer, but also things grow more. So you're actually growing more trees if the planet gets warmer. The only thing that you're worried about now is the ice melting. So it's one for the other. It's a rocking chair. It's been doing it for thousands and thousands of years.
So let me ask you a question.
Millennia.
What do you think is making the Antarctica like the
The opposite of whatever they were saying in the 70s. They said we were headed toward an ice age in the 70s. Now they're saying we're heading toward global warming and it's going to kill everybody.
And the polar ice caps are supposed to be melting, which is going to bring the what? Elevation of the water higher, right?
Kind of, but not as much as everybody thinks it does.
Right.
If you put an ice cube in a glass of water and the ice melts, the level of the water doesn't go up.
But shouldn't it?
No, it doesn't, because the ice has already displaced the amount of a less amount of water than it does to freeze the ice, because ice expands when it freezes. So when an ice sits into some water, it's actually taking up more room than when it's melting. So that actually the level should probably go down. So the math doesn't work, and I understand there's a lot of under the sea stuff, below the iceberg kind of concepts. But what I'm saying is it doesn't jibe well. It feels like that we are being manipulated into restructuring our entire power system.
Do you think
for nothing?
Do you think that America sends off false narratives to scare the public?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a couple of examples.
A couple of examples to scare the public. How about I'll give you a ridiculous example on how to save yourself in case of a calamity.
Okay.
Get under your desk when a nuclear blast happens. I mean, they practiced this in schools for a false sense of security based completely on the government's authority to tell you what to do.
Right. Control.
It's all control. It doesn't matter if they're telling you something bad's going to happen or if they're telling you something good's going to happen if you do these things.
So do you believe that it's like almost living in a matrix of good and evil and everything's a test?
No, I think we are living in a time where the citizenry has become so ignorant of what the power structure people, let's just call them people, the people who are supposed to be in charge are doing to us.
Talking about the res above north. What was that song?
Oh yeah, yeah. The rich men north of Richmond.
The Richmond north of Richmond.
They have figured out, and there are not just politicians. Politicians are being manipulated as well because of super PACs and donors and pressure from big corporations like pharma, and I mean even oil. Every big one's in it because they're trying to sustain themselves as well.
Prisons as well. We can't forget the prisons.
Prisons, all of it.
You know, a bunch of prisons are ran by, controlled by record labels.
I have heard Ice Cube say so. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw him interviewed by Bill Maher or something.
Yeah, he was talking about how prison industries are controlled by record labels because it's like
I'd like to see some documentation on that, but I'm not. I don't discount his word right off the bat. I would still like. What is it? Trust but verify.
Yeah, you need to see facts.
I need to see something because a lot of the facts that are being thrown out at us right now, quote unquote facts, are perspectives, are opinions, are whatever. Like for example, the mask. We just stopped at Starbucks. She was wearing a mask again. It's September of 2023. Why is she wearing a mask again? I thought it was over. Is it coming back? I hear it's coming back. Biden was up on stage the other day. He was wearing a mask on the way in because his wife, Jill, had gotten COVID after 4 shots, still got COVID, so he has to wear a mask for 10 days. What does he do? He gets up on stage, presents a Medal of Honor to an 80-plus-year-old Vietnam War hero, and takes his mask off and breathes directly into the guy's face, doesn't say a howdy do, and he takes off before the event is ended. Now, is that how you're supposed to wear a mask? Because if he's our example, I'm in. Don't wear one. And then he makes a joke about it, and he says, don't tell anybody I didn't wear it, except he doesn't realize, because he's an old codger, that he's been recorded the entire time.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. They're saying one thing, they're doing another thing. They're telling us what to do, and it doesn't make any difference. Then they're lying to us about one thing, and it's actually causing more problems than before. Have you seen the mayor?
You're right. Yeah.
I got a directional indicator with my right hand. Have you seen
that
the?
was real short, y'all.
Yeah, you got me right there. You daydreaming.
Yeah.
I went on off on a rant.
Yeah, I was listening. I was kind of getting caught up in the conversation.
Yesterday, I went to get my oil changed in preparation for this on the road. By the way, I was about 27 miles late on it.
Where you go get your oil change at?
Where I bought it's right across the street, the Honda dealership across the street.
Walmart's pretty good.
Well, I go to the dealership because I've always gone to the
that's what's
dealership.
supposed
And they
to
like to overcharge me, and I like to be overcharged.
Damn.
No, I'm not kidding. That's just it. They could get me in right when I was there.
No, I got you.
Did you see the thing with the mayor of New York yesterday?
No, I did not.
Maybe it was the day before. I can't remember. So when he was running, he said on illegal immigration, if we're going to talk about aliens, we're going to go right to the immigration because, you know,
All right,
aliens.
I get it. Makes sense.
It's a joke, right?
Yeah.
He goes, New York, under my administration, New York will always be a sanctuary city. We got to protect our immigrants.
Right.
Cool. 2 days ago, he goes, immigration is going to ruin New York. I have never seen a problem that I could not see an end to, and this one is going to destroy New York City. So he's flipped in 2 years because he's getting 10,000 a day coming in.
But immigrants built New York.
Immigrants built New York, but they came in organized. You had to come in through Ellis Island, sign a thing, prove that you had ability to work and that you were not sick. They are now letting kids into the New York public school system that do not have the required documentation for vaccinations or all the other stuff that the United States citizens' kids are being required to have to get into those same.
But that's
schools.
America. That's America. America is known for opening its doors to everyone.
But you have to follow the rules to do that. You can't just come across the border willy-nilly because a lot of the people that are coming across the border have records, and a lot of the people that are coming across the border are minors with no parents associated. It's kid sex trafficking, dude. It's kid sex trafficking. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of kids coming across the border with no parental supervision. It's crazy. And all of the cities now that were what you were saying, everybody needs to come in, we need to take care about it, everybody, they're now saying, whoa, we think we got this wrong. It's just becoming too big. If the real aliens, the outer space aliens, were coming across the border that fast, then we would have proof that they existed. But no, not right now. Go look at the speech that he gave in front of a committee
About immigration.
Eric Adams, mayor of New York.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's now a perspective. It's now the opposite perspective that he had when he was running, when he wasn't being affected by the immigration at all. Right. Texas was. But he didn't live in Texas, so he didn't know what it was really all about. He didn't know that the farmers were their farmhouses were getting overrun, and little tiny towns were having to take in people and putting them in the high school gymnasiums, and downtown New York hotels are 50% occupied by people who aren't paying and don't have any paperwork whatsoever. It's gotten ridiculous.
Well, that's America for you.
But that's what I'm saying. As a conspiracy theorist type of individual, I would think you'd be all over that, trying to get some kind of
no, because I don't
opinion on how to make this change.
Don't have no change in that because I just know that like it's been like that for forever. Whether it's been,
but should it not be?
I mean,
it shouldn't be, right?
I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, like,
it's either rules or there aren't rules.
He's complaining about people that are illegally here, but everybody's typical kind of legally here.
No, we're not. If you're born here, you're not illegal here.
I'm not meaning it like that. I'm just saying, like, everyone is part of the land.
Well, that doesn't, but that philosophy doesn't fix the overrun problem. The homeless people on the streets, by the tens of thousands, are homeless on the street in our cities, and now that is going to bankrupt the city trying to take care of them, and it's going to put businesses out of business.
It could.
It is. There's no good about it anymore.
Are you going to go through this?
Yeah.
All right, because I got about
You got about 10 minutes before I need to be back to the house.
I got 10 minutes before I got to get back.
Because you got responsibilities today.
Always got responsibility because the day is Sunday.
It is Sunday.
First day of NFL. And
Who you like?
right now, I'm an Eagles fan, so
Why?
because I just always love the Eagles. Some of the jerseys and most.
I mean, but you don't have a.
But most of my family's from Philadelphia.
There
You
it
get what I'm
is.
saying?
There it
So-
is.
And I'm from South Carolina too. We didn't have a football team till later, so I always identify with them.
Yeah.
I like Jonathan, and I like black quarterbacks, and I like all quarterbacks, but I like to see a black quarterback be a leader, that show that he can lead. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? That's all from Cunningham to
Michael Vick.
Yeah, exactly. But all the
He didn't lead in every aspect of his life, but he.
Right. You know what I mean? But just an example, Donovan McNabb and all this. So our team always had like good quarterbacks
Okay.
to hurt. So this is the car wash that's
Right.
closed.
Oh, it's closed.
Yeah, big
All right.
right here. My fault.
Well, I mean, is
I
it?
thought
But
it
it
was
might be a automatic run through. Let's find out.
Okay.
If it ain't, then that's cool too.
Yeah, so I'm looking at a couple good games today. San Fran's supposed to be having a good, decent game.
Oh, we missed it. We got to do a Yui.
Yeah,
Oh, my navigator got me boxed in.
definitely got
Oh,
you.
Fail.
I did good until
then.
but it's just I get like kind of flustered with crunching the time. I kind of get like flustered a little bit.
Yeah, well.
So but that's all I've been doing.
Nobody
You
likes
got
the marching of time.
But I've been that's what I've been doing, like relaxing besides work. You know what I mean? I've been working on my FanDuel picks.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I'm into that. So just been having a pretty good weekend. Can't
Right.
complain too much. You know what I mean?
Right,
Relaxing.
right. No, you said you gotta go get your daughter.
Yeah.
So does she watch football with you? How old is she?
She is 13. We used to, because we all used to, like we used to be a little bit more closer, but now that we're like she's getting older and everybody like
It
my
happens.
girl's a Steeler fan.
Right.
So we would watch all our games together. Like if we played the Steelers or whatever, we would watch it. My daughter is she's artsy, so she don't care for sports
Okay.
at all. Everybody in my family loves sports. Even
Mhm.
my grandma's the biggest LeBron James fan ever.
When you say she's artsy, what kind of artsy?
Artsy, she's into the arts. You get what I'm saying? She's more into theater.
Oh, not artsy like in a draw.
No, she's into the band. She's into theater. That's
see.
what
So this
drives her entrance.
this is not one of those automated ones where you
No.
drive through.
No.
Oh well,
I'm sorry.
man, it's gonna rain anyhow.
Okay. But they got some good restaurants around here. You can bring a wife to sometimes, Like Blue Tequila's pretty
Blue
good.
tequila. You got a shout out on Blue Tequila. That's all right. Unfortunately, the tree that is beside my driveway in my house
Yeah. It fell.
sheds
Okay.
a lot onto this car. I need to trim it back. It was part.
I do. There is another one like you're going home to on your left hand side.
All right.
Like if you.
I'll hit it on the way home.
Yeah. Makes it left.
Make a left.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, cool. I directional indicated I am being a really good driver on this particular podcast.
When you get about when you see the Bilo,
Mm-hmm.
if you go up, you're gonna see Bilo in your left hand side. Once you pass Bilo, it's the first building on your left hand side.
Everybody who's listening to this and they don't live in Charleston, South Carolina, y'all don't give a crap about where the Bilo is, do you?
But I guarantee you're gonna see a car wash.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what else we're gonna see? You know that the homeless population up here, they're starting to get out on the corners.
Are they?
Yep. I'm not sure what's happening.
I think it's
but
just in certain
there's
areas.
more cardboard. There's more cardboard on corners in North Charleston now than there was when I first moved here.
Oh yeah, North Charleston always had a poverty issue, but if you go down Ashley Phosphate, that's the main hub for me that I see people. Like if you ever really pay attention to any overpassing bridge
Right.
and you look up in the corners,
Mm-hmm.
there's usually people there. A lot of people don't pay attention to, because everybody in their own
What do you
world.
think's causing the uptick?
Well, me, I'm
Or
gonna
is
be
it just
honest.
because we're-
I'm gonna be honest with you, and not every time
Yeah.
I get an opportunity to give, I give just because I'm in that position. Not to say that everybody has to do that, or you know,
Do you think
does it make me feel better?
Does it?
No,
you
not
think it does
really.
any good?
But I feel I don't know what it does, but it does clear my conscience that me being trying to be a helpful soul, that I try to help someone.
Right.
But when I give them that $1 or $5 or $2, it's up to them to do what they want to do. If
Sure.
they want to go get high, make a left, or if they want to get some food, you know. But my $1 is not going to change their poverty. They got that through decisions in life.
Oh, sure.
And I always say that, like, some could be their fault, some could not be their fault. You know what I mean? But it's all because I fight this every day. I go to work like the next person just so I don't have to be in that position. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's all about life. Sometimes life gives people a bad deal.
I used to do that.
But is the government supposed to take care of the homeless? I believe there should be programs where the government should make, because I feel like the government should try to make it where they're showing that they're cleaning up their streets. It's like they do with, they say jails rehabilitation,
I don't think
but
the
it's not
government
really.
should be. I don't think that the government should be responsible for it, because anything the government does, they always mess it up. They spend more than they need to, and they don't fix the problem. Just look at education.
Okay, all right.
I think that
everybody.
there should be. I mean, we should go back to the way it was. It doesn't have to be churches, but churches used to be the example that people would go to the churches for help. But it doesn't have to be churches. It could be the Kiwanis Club. It could be, whatever. It doesn't matter.
So you think government should only focus on military?
I think the government has
A lot of
way
responsibilities.
more things that they are responsible for than was intended. Each state was supposed, like we mentioned this on the last one, each state was supposed to be their own government because they were able to make the rules that worked for their geography and their citizenry. When the federal government starts making a law that all of the states have to do the same thing, or that they will provide money to, or whatever, like, I don't believe in federal taxes. I think the states should have to pay federal taxes. You get me?
Yeah.
We pay the state pays the federal taxes,
Yeah.
and then the federal responsibilities should be defense, and basically be organizing or being the liaison between all 50 of the states.
Yeah.
I think they've way overreached, and I think it needs I would not go so far as a major reset, but definitely major changes. We need to do away with a bunch of different organizations in the federal government. Straight?
Yep, straight.
So one of the things being, we need to bring back the, I don't want to say welfare. I want to say not institutions, but helps for underprivileged or homeless who have mental problems or disenfranchised or whatever. All of that should be done locally, because they are the only ones really that can make any kind of life difference. Otherwise, it's just handing people money and seeing what they do with it, just like you would be doing.
Right. I get it.
And that would be the end of this episode.
All right.
Aliens going green and a whole bunch of stuff around it.
I feel like we did a good job.
I think, all right.
And I got you to Starbucks without crashing.
And you got a free drink.
And I got a free drink
Cool.
by my producer,
Cool.
which is pretty damn good.
All
Hell
right, man.
Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Cool.
We'll see y'all next time, if I can get off the seatbelt. Have a good one.
All right, dude. See ya.
And I'll
Here,
give it to
yeah, no,
I'll give
you
it.
take. I'll go and take it with you.
Yeah.
He's got to get his sign. I'm turning this off.
That was good though.